Hi, today we are dealing with the topic number line. If you look at the scale or ruler you have, you'll observe few markings on it, namely 0, 1, 2, 3, and it goes on. Let's mark these numbers on a number line. Number line is nothing but a straight line upon which we can mark these numbers. Okay, so let's mark it. So let's mark 0, then 1 towards the right of 0, 2, 3, 4, and it goes on. The speciality of the number line is that you can not only mark 0 and positive numbers, but you can also mark the negative numbers towards the left of 0. So let's mark the negative numbers. So it's -1, -2, -3, -4, and it goes on. Now, to understand these positive and negative numbers in a better way, let's take an example. Now, let's suppose this is you and you have some toffees with you. Let's say you have 3 toffees with you. Now, let's mark this 3 on a number line. It comes here. And let's assume you have eaten all your toffees, so you're left with 0 toffees. 0 on a number line is here. And now let's assume you want to have more toffees, but you don't have any. So you decide to borrow it from your friend. Now you decided to borrow the toffees from your friend. Let's assume your friend agrees to give you toffees, but on a condition that you return him back. Since if you're borrowing 1 toffee from your friend, it is -1 because you're borrowing it from your friend and you don't have that toffee. So, and if you're borrowing 2 toffees from your friend, it's -2. Let's mark this -1 and -2 on a number scale. -1 can be marked here, and -2 here. Now, I suppose you've understood this example. Now let's go back to the number line. If you observe the number line, if you're moving towards the right, the value of the number increases. So 0, then we move to 1, then 2, 2 to 3. So the value goes on increasing. Whereas if you move towards the left on a number line, the value of the number goes on decreasing. So let's see that from 1 to 0, then from 0 to -1 it's decreasing, then -1 to -2 again it's decreasing. So when you move towards the left, the value of the number decreases, and when you move towards the right, the value of the number increases. So we can conclude that the number which is towards the right is always greater than the number towards the left. The greater symbol is this. So 4 is greater than 2. Let's write that. 3 and 4, so 4 is greater than 3. Now let's take a negative number. -3 and -1. So if we observe the number line, we can conclude that -1 is towards the right and -3 is towards the left. Therefore, -1 is greater than -3. But without the number line, if you just observe the numbers, you might feel that 3 is greater than 1. Then how come -3 is less than -1? So you have to remember that when it is negative, becomes the opposite. Again, to understand this in a better way, let's go to this friend and the chocolate example. See, if you have to return just 1 chocolate to your friend, which is -1, you're more comfortable. Whereas if you have to return 3 chocolates, you are less comfortable. Let's assume that you have to return 50 chocolates. That is -50. You're very less comfortable. Right, so remember this example and understand that As you move towards the left, the value of the number decreases, and the minus 1, therefore minus 1 is greater than minus 3. More the value of the negative number, more lesser it is. Okay. Now, let's see other places where we can use the negative numbers. See, now the example I've taken is borrowing toffees from your friend. So, if you're borrowing the money from the borrower or the bank, we can also indicate that in a negative number. Let's see that. So, if you're borrowing the money from the borrower or the bank, this is also indicated a negative number. So, a negative number can also be used to indicate the temperature of a place. You might have observed the temperature might be like 25 degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius, but there are also negative temperatures like minus 1 degree Celsius, minus 3 degrees Celsius. So, negative numbers are used to indicate the temperatures too. Now, to summarize the whole concept, we saw that on a number line we can mark 0 and positive numbers towards the right of 0, but also the negative numbers minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, etc. towards the left of 0. To understand these positive and negative numbers, we took the example of the toffees you have and the toffees you borrowed from your friend to indicate the negative numbers. And if you're borrowing the money from the bank, it's also money from the bank or the borrower, it's also indicated in a negative number. Plus, the temperature of a place can also be used can also be negative, where we use the negative numbers. Then we also saw that when it is negative, the minus 1, we took the example of minus 1 and minus 3, and we linked it with the chocolate example to understand it in a better way. So minus 1 is greater than minus 3. So we have to remember that when it is negative, the more the value is, more the lesser the number is. Okay. Thank you.